Okay, so if you saw my previous failed stream attempts, I think there was like 4 of them. No, you didn't. I had to restart my computer so that I could actually stream without it going like crazy. Um, so I probably won't have my regulars, my very few regulars that I usually sometimes hear, because it's very late at night, and I wanted to stream like an hour ago, but stuff came up. I had some emotional breakdowns. This is titled like sadly because I had like a really sad mental day. Being reminded of past grief and traumas and others. But aside from that, I thought, man, I want to watch the Magnus Archives season 4 premiere. I want to watch it so bad. Well, in terms of, okay, yeah, moving that aside, in terms of things to talk about, there's actually probably not too much since last time I only watched the Q&A and the teaser, and I kind of discussed what I could find in the teaser there. I mean, did I like discuss who I thought the person on the other side of the phone was? I had no clue. I said my first thought was Elias, but I don't think it's Elias. It could be Peter Lucas because he's our new boss, but I don't know, he seems to be taking a hands-off approach from what we saw at the end of last season, but this could be a teaser from later in the season, so we don't know. Or it could not be, and it could just be like hopping straight into Martin making bad decisions, as another comment said. I did get comments on my last video, just so I can see. Yeah, shout out to my comments on my last reaction. I can't believe people watched my reaction to a Q&A. That's fun. And the teaser, but it was mostly a Q&A reaction. But yeah, regular commenters, but I'll shout them out again. JMNL B2L JMNL B2L and Meows Fever. They've commented before, and I'm pretty sure I've shouted them out before, but just to be cool and nice. I just always appreciate it, the conversation. But yeah, aside from that, yeah, I don't know who that person on the other side of the phone call could be. It is probably someone we know and not a new character, because it's like spooky who reveal. Like I'm like, oh, who is it? Who is it? Like it's like a mystery. So it's probably someone we know that like to figure out to be like a reveal. So it may be. The only thing I can think of is Peter Lucas, because all of our other mentor figures are sort of dead, but it may be some sort of other supernaturally attached person that we've heard of before, that Martin is somehow now working with. It could be Daisy. Yeah, Martin and Daisy on unsafe escapades together. That would be fun. But we don't know exactly. We have no idea what the state of things is, so I have really no prediction in that sense. Aside from that, I don't need to discuss the Q&A. I did talk about 120 last time. I don't know what else to say besides... I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea how the statement's gonna even go on. Like, if this takes place after the teaser and Martin is out making bad decisions, is he going to be the one reading the statement while John's incapacitated? Or is it gonna be someone else at the archives, which is, at this point, Georgie and, Melanie. So I keep saying Georgie instead of Melanie because they're connected as people who know each other. And they're two, like, I don't know, female friends connected to John based on John's prior friendships, I guess. But aside from that, we only have Basira and Melanie at the archive, so it could be one of them. Okay, I can get it. Should we get into the big thing that I wanted to say recently that I hinted at before when I rejoined the series. Man, I wish I didn't have to talk. Well, it's not nothing important, but I wish well, it was, I wish I didn't have. I could just pretend like it didn't happen, but it did. But it's also funny, so you should. So I was actually watching a Coley Does Things video right now, which is relevant because a couple months ago I was watching a Coley Does Things video, something related to, I believe, Archive of Our Own tags. If you don't know Coley Does Things, she's a a YouTuber who does a lot of videos on like fandom topics and fan fiction and stuff like that. But I was watching one of these videos and it was sort of discussing fanfiction tags, and then it was one tag that exists on Archive of Our Own that comes up a lot is called like it's based on the something like the phrase originally was "No beta, we die like men," based on like the whole like "we die like men" phrase, and that no beta just means we don't have a beta reader. So that's a tag for fics. But yeah, I have, I know about this, where it's like each fandom like seems to like have a play on this phrase that's used commonly. Like I don't know, like if there's a dead character in the show, it would be like if it was Game of Thrones, it'd be, oh, should I give Game of Thrones spoilers? No, maybe I won't. What's like I don't know. What's a very commonly, I don't know, if there's Marley and Me fanfiction, it'd be like, no beta, we die like Marley. I don't, like, what's a spoiler that everyone knows? Okay, it's something that, it's like no beta, we die like character who is dead. Usually like no beta, we die like character that dies early in the story is usually what happens because it's such an iconic death. Like, I'm trying to think of a fandom. Like, there's so many fandoms that I'm in that use these tags. It's like no beta, we die like John's mental health. I don't know. But like, in this Coley Does Things comment section, someone, and it was a pretty high up comment too with a lot of likes, and I was like, wow, the Magnus Archives fandom is so big. And but I did also read the comment, and the comment said, oh, that's so funny, even in the Magnus Archives fandom, we have a tag, like, no beta, we die like Tim. And that was the comment, and I read it. And I was like, so that happened, and I wish it didn't. But it did, which is a travesty. But aside from that, it sent me, like, when I saw that, it of course sent me on my own spiral where I had to think about, like, the fact that these, like, Sasha wasn't just a fluke, and that these characters actually are seeming to die, and, like, even before, I saw this comment and got the spoiler. I saw it on the Reddit. People were theorizing around the time that it was like I as I said before, I look at like old discussion posts from the time when the episodes were coming out, so I don't get spoilers. But I can participate kind of with my brain. But people were theorizing since Sasha's death and afterwards, during like season 2, season 3, where we were learning about Gertrude sacrificing assistants to stop rituals, to stop these apocalypses, people were theorizing, maybe like one assistant's going to die every season or something. Like Sasha died season 1, well, no one died season 2, but maybe Tim's gonna die next. And I'm like, no way. I was like, the mere idea scared me. But then, like, when I saw this comment, like, it seemed more and more likely that this, not like in the most literal sense, like this is gonna happen, but like that it could be true in the sense that Tim could die. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought about how it lined up with what was going on in the plot at the time. Like Tim's search for vengeance, the way he was acting, the way it was being set up, the way like it seems like he was saying all I care about is stopping this thing and getting my revenge, and it just made sense. It wasn't something that I could ignore as untrue because it was so blatant. But I guess I was able to rationalize it with the idea that, especially since like the next episode after, like it was like 115 or 116 or something, like the show itself made it very clear that Tim was going to die, or it made very clear that the red flags were the death flags were everywhere, and he basically said, I want to die doing this more than anything else, which sucked. But it was, yeah, so I guess that tension wasn't there for me where it was like Tim's like, I'm going to die doing this, I'm going to sacrifice myself to stop this, and then I wasn't like, but is he though, like I wasn't like that. It was like it was like depression, like it was like, oh damn, it was like acceptance in a sad way, like, so that's how that worked out, which is really sucked because I managed to avoid spoilers everywhere, even though there was some spoilers that I did see, like I saw like entity pages and names randomly around, like even before I watched the series there was like entity names going around, like that when people were talking about the show. Oh my god, I ate the burp. Okay. But I didn't, like, I tried to, like, keep those out of mind and not really try to connect what was going on with them. But, okay, but, like, even all this time going on, freaking fandom Twitter, Tumblr, the Magnus Archives wiki, Reddit, like, going on all these websites related to the Magnus Archives and not really getting big spoiled on anything. Now, I got spoiled by a Coley Does Things comment section. That's what happened. Not even on a video unrelated to the Magnus Archives, completely related to fan fiction tags, and that is how I got spoiled on a character death. But I was very glad that I got the spoiler, like basically right before it happened. Like I knew this is what I was talking about before in the other video where I talked about what I got spoiled on. I knew it had to happen soon. Like it was the foreshadowing. Like I connected the dots. Like it was. It sucked, but yeah. So now, yeah, I'm bringing this up now because I watched the Q&A and they were like, Tim is dead. Tim is dead, and he's never coming back. And I'm like, Jesus. But aside from that, I was like, I'd better bring this up. But even though I don't even know where I am in the stages of grief, I don't want to accept it still. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to process it. I don't want to hear about it. Oh my god. He was a good guy. He was just a normal guy. He was just and he wanted to save those people. Oh my god, my hair. I did something awful to it. He was just a good guy. He was just a normal man. Calming down for a moment. Yeah, that aside, I guess I'll get into the premiere. I have no idea what's gonna happen here. I have no idea what we're gonna do. But yeah, it's called MAG. Like all episodes. 121. Far away. My pen is so non-inky. Like certain ankles just give no ink at all. Okay, MAG 121, far away. And I guess I'll just start it. It's the summary doesn't really give any. Wait. Wait. I read this summary before. And it went I read the beginning of it seems. I guess I didn't read the second half of it. So it went completely over my head. What's going on in the second half of this? I was about to say this description doesn't seem to give anything away. It doesn't seem very. It seems like a normal statement description actually, considering it's the first episode of the season. And I forgot that these. I forgot that these say Let me check the past episodes. That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, and it says when the statements are taken and or if they're given directly to subject in descriptions. And I forgot that. I forgot to see that if it was taken. I forgot to see if there was any hints towards that. So I just read the beginning where it says statement of Oliver Banks regarding his dreams and trying to run away. I read this part, but it went over my head, and it says, statement given directly to Jonathan Sims, head archivist of the MAG's Institute. Let me see the rest of this description. Let me see the rest of this episode description. Statement given directly to Jonathan Sims, head archivist of the Magnus Institute, currently unresponsive. Excuse me? So John... Okay. So it seems my earlier statement was incorrect, that it's probably not going to start with John taking a statement. The fact that we know that Jonathan Sims is literally dead right now. He's passed the hell out, and that this description has the gall to say statement given directly to Jonathan Sims, currently passed out man, currently unconscious man is taking this statement right now. They're just telling me that given directly to John, who is dead. I should have known. We can't start a season of the Magnus Archives without Jonathan Sims. So John is... Okay, I thought, the most interesting thing I thought was happening in this description was the dreams aspect. I was like, oh, does it have something to do with John? And then I didn't read the second sentence, which says explicitly it has everything to do with John, probably. Oliver Banks, dreams and trying to run away. Statement given directly to Jonathan Sims, who is unresponsive. Okay, I should have known, we can't just start the season without the main character. Okay, let's go.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance.
Progressive?
Did you ever think about switching
Maybe I'll lower
insurance
the volume a little
companies
bit.
to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you
search for the gentleman from hell wherever you listen to your rumors swirl of something far more simple.
I'll let you read your ad.
An entire town is gone.
Registered investment advisor, member SIPC.
Hi everyone, it's Kareen, the voice of Simon Fairchild from Magnus Archives.
Spoiler, but okay.
Today,
I have not heard that man. Have I?
Just
No, I don't think I have. I have not heard. I have not heard Simon Fairchild. I swear. Yeah, I don't think I have. No, yeah, I haven't.
Horror audio drama from the same brilliant
I would know.
Utopia and the Sleepwalker.
That's my favorite joke to
In
make.
The Gentleman from Hell, an entire town is gone without trace. No signs, no warnings, just silence.
I take this headphone out.
This is the story of Cold Sparrow.
Wait.
For over 2...
Let me check my actual audio to make sure that I'm not running on nothing, because no one's watching, really giving me feedback right now. Okay. Seemingly fine. And okay, bye headphone. Let's go. Magnus Archives
have been left baffled.
Magnus Archives.
Now, 3 celebrated...
Oh, I have to burp so bad, it's not happening.
...tackle this mystery. Yet, the deeper they dig, the darker the whispers become. Rumors swirl of something far more sinister than anyone ever imagined. Could the mystery of Cold Sparrow be tied to forces that reach far beyond our world? Could it be linked to something infernal. Some mysteries once uncovered may be better.
It's trying to get comfortable.
Cold Sparrow, a town that disappeared, but something still lingers in the shadows. The investigation begins now. To listen, search for The Gentleman from Hell wherever you listen to your podcasts. Or for more information, go to mailtopia.com or www.rustyquill.com. Have fun. See you later.
Hi everyone, Alex here. I'd just like to take a moment to thank some of our patrons. Ben McPherson,
Oh, my hair.
Ambrose Harwood, Madeline Seller, Orathon, Amanda Blakely, Victor Wolf, Jay Toth,
Did not help.
Marcella McKindo,
Okay, who cares?
Tina Fritz,
No one cares.
Crystal Land, Dan and Melissa. Thank you all. We
Dan
really
and
appreciate
Melissa.
your support. If you'd like
They were
to
just
join
such
them,
normal
go to
names.
www.patreon.com/rustyquill and take a look at our rewards.
Okay. Dude, season 4! I can't believe I'm here. Okay, it's season freaking 4. Oh my god, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
Quill presents
Season 4 Rusty
the
Quill
Magnus
presents.
Archives.
Oh my god, I can't believe we're starting a new season. I need to get hyped up. I need to get hyped up. No more depression. Only hype.
Episode 121.
Ooh, I'm so far. I'm so far in.
Away.
Okay. Tapping my knee if you can't see it. Ooh. Okay. Oh my god, we're really... Ooh, we stopped the unknowing and we're in season 4. That's crazy. And... Okay, I think I really am far too calm about the fact that we stopped the unknowing and the season is over and a new season is beginning. Because I know people have to wait a long time for this, but also, like, I've been way too focused on 120 and not acknowledging the fact that a lot has happened. A lot has happened. Whew. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. This is the tape recorder turns on. TikTok. We're back in the hospital, it seems. Same setting, sounding, environmental sounds. Subtle background track, like always. Someone moving around.
Hello, John. Do you mind if I call you John? I mean, you don't actually know me. It's just, well, archivist. It's so formal, isn't it?
Who?
I kind of know you. Haven't had much choice, really. Dreams are like that, you know. No matter how lucid you think they are, there's always that part that just drags you along.
Okay, let me... One thing. I need to look at if we've met this person before. I'm not gonna get any spoilers. I'm gonna go in the characters episode wiki, which will tell me the first time this character has appeared or has been mentioned. Oliver Banks, first appearance, 121. I should have believed him when he said you don't know me. But I am so confused because it seems like my first intuition is that this person is like a prisoner in John's dreams, like the other people that have given statements to John. But in that sense, we haven't. Well, I don't know if canonically we've heard all of the statements, the real statements that John has recorded or John has taken from people. If that's or maybe, but like I thought maybe we would, but that the pattern there was that the people had given statements to John. So it's like, so I was checking if this person existed in the prior statement, but I guess not.
Guess I don't need to tell you that. At least, not right now.
Excuse me?
Haven't had much choice, really.
You seem like you know too
Dreams
much
are like
the way
that.
you're talking. You're way
No
too
matter
chill.
how lucid you think they are, there's always that part that just drags you along. Guess I don't need to tell you that. At At least,
Wait, let's
Not
go
right, will
back.
you? Mind if I call you John?
Don't tell me. Do you mind if I call you blank? the whole Nicola business is too much for me.
You don't actually know me. It's just, well, archivist. So
Who told
isn't it?
you the title
I do
archivist?
kind of know you. Haven't had much
You know
choice,
him for your
really.
dreams
Dreams are like that, you know.
against
No
his
matter how
will.
lucid you think they are, there's always that part that just drags you along. Guess
Like,
I don't need to
So
tell
he
you
knows
that.
them in that
At least
sense that dreams are
right
real.
now.
What? Not right now.
I wish I could tell you.
I don't need to tell you that dreams drag you along. Not right now. I don't know what's going on.
Why I came here. Wish I knew why I came here. Suppose there's only so long you can dream about someone and not at least try to find them.
I keep feeling like I'm missing something.
Wish I could tell you why I came here.
So you don't know why you came
Wish
here.
I knew why I came here.
Okay.
Suppose there's only so long you can dream about someone and not at least try to find them.
So
That was it with the
Jonathan
old
Sims
woman
is in
too.
your dreams.
That was different though.
Gertrude was in
figure
your
it.
dreams.
She stuck her nose in just about everywhere it wasn't wanted and stirred up hornets. Till all the precautions in the world couldn't stop death from finally catching her.
Not hornets. Hornet's nest. We've dealt with that. No. Okay. Gertrude, then John, has negative opinions about Gertrude sticking her business into things.
If I'd have known more back then, I'm not sure I'd have bothered trying to warn her. Still, you
Warn
live and learn, don't
her.
you? Sorry to go on. I don't talk to many people these days.
Who are
Putting my
you?
thoughts outside myself, it gets a bit clumsy.
Putting your thoughts outside yourself. Guys. What's happening? Who are you? This guy is not normal. As is apparent. Okay. Not used to putting your thoughts outside yourself. Okay.
Be easier if you could talk back, right? Ask me questions and just have it tumble all out.
Yeah, make it very
But no,
eloquent and
it's
good
just me.
storytelling.
Wish there was a better way, but touching someone's mind, it's not as simple as that, is it? Doesn't always make things clearer, you know?
I don't have.
And just
I'm trying to figure out exactly what he's referring to and
tumble all
talking about.
But no, it's just me. Wish there was a better way, but touching someone's mind, it's not.
Wish there was a better way. What? For you to. Okay, he's talking about John maybe compelling him with his magic powers, but I wish there was a better way. As in, because later after this he says, but I wish there was a better way, but touching someone's mind is too complicated. Better way to do what? Better way to talk to John? Better, which he's talked about before. Better way to get what he wants to say out? Better way to just connect with John mentally?
As simple as that, is it? Doesn't always make
Or
things
better way for the compelling power to work? I don't
clearer,
know.
you know? Still, I gave the old woman a statement, so maybe I owe you one as well.
Okay, let me go.
Better
He's
way.
probably gonna explain what's
Touching
going
someone's
on.
mind, it's not as simple as that, is it? Doesn't always make things clearer, you know?
Okay, so is he talking about John's compelling power? Like, John's compelling power is the thing that he's talking about that touches another person's mind, because he was referencing it before, but it doesn't always make things clearer, he says.
Still, I gave the old woman a statement, so maybe I
Okay.
owe you one as well. That's how it works, right? Give you a terror, give you a dream. It's not like I don't have them to spare.
You have a lot of bad dreams.
Let me tell you about how I tried to escape.
Hmm.
So, my name
Tried
is
to
Oliver
escape.
Banks. In my other statements, I use the name Antonio Blake. But I don't.
Immediate search. Antonio Blake. Antonio Blake. No, it's that thing I mentioned. It's an thing I mentioned. What a coincidence that I stumbled upon that Reddit post that I just coincidentally read because it reminded me of myself. Where it mentioned how they mentioned Graham from, I believe, Across the Street's boyfriend in Across the Street. And that episode, I don't know if it's called Across the Street, but then Graham's boyfriend appeared in a future episode. And that boyfriend's, and I was like, wow, I should really go back and listen to these because I forgot completely about that, and I forgot about that connection. I've completely gone from my mind the fact that Graham's boyfriend was mentioned at all. But then Antonio Blake. Antonio, I searched up your name for nothing. What's your name? Oliver Banks. Antonio Blake. Statement giver in episode 11. Crazy how I read the 121. I didn't even read the 121 thing. I just saw that his name appeared first on the 121. I didn't read the rest of the line. And it says, statement giver in episode 112 used the name Antonio Blake in episode 11. Statement giver in episode 11. I should just do this on my computer. Oh, my thing isn't open. My Chrome isn't open because I very quickly set up this. Okay, I'll just look at my phone for now. Episode 11, Dreamer. Oh! I should have known about this episode. This is the trippy episode. Trippy-ass episode. I was gonna write a note, but I don't even remember what it was. It was the trippy dream episode where this guy talked dreams about Gertrude Robinson, gives Gertrude a statement about how, oh my god, my neck. Oh. Gives Gertrude a statement about how he sees this like really, cause I never thought, okay, oh my god, sorry. Okay, cause, okay, give me some credit. I never forgot about this episode. I didn't forget about it. It's just the fact that I stupidly did not connect it to this. I thought it was like some blessed by another power type dream. Because I believe it, the way he described it, it was like there was like red vines clawing towards something, and all the red vines lead straight to the Magnus Institute, and there in the middle of it all is Gertrude, and she's like dead or something. Like, that's what I remember of this episode. It was really trippy, and I never forgot it because it was like the trippiest, most unexplainable episode yet. Like, it was all just a crazy dream sequence, like, leading to Gertrude in the Institute. So, I never forgot it because it felt so relevant in the sense that it was so much there. But, man, the statement giver in this episode, in the episode with the crazy trippy dream sequence, is the boyfriend of Graham from, I believe it's called Across the Street. I keep making that name up and I don't know if that's the correct name. But aside from that, my god. No, just let me, okay, I need Across the Street is Mag 3, and that's the one with Graham. Okay, yeah, I got it. And that was episode 3, and I know because I retook notes on it. Okay, let me bring up my window capture. There it is. My throat, it's congested. Okay. But, yeah, I did take notes on this episode. Did I mention him having a boyfriend in this episode? Because I swear I took notes on this episode and I didn't remember. No boyfriend. So I don't, at least, unless it's in the transcript, which I don't, probably not. I think they probably only mentioned it first in the Dreamer episode then. Which is something that I didn't take notes on. Nope, not in this transcript either. Okay, makes sense. And I do remember what happened to Graham. He was replaced by the Not Them. And he was scribbling constantly. He had the table too. He had the table, and that's why the Not Them was there. Yeah, the wooden table, or scribbling journals constantly. Um, da, da, da. Oh yeah, Amy was pushed by something into the street, kind of. Like, I think that maybe was not them. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and all of the notebooks had, all of it was the same phrase, keep watching, which seems kind of eye-ish, which is interesting. Eye-ish type beat. But it's very strange because a lot of stuff was going on. There was a table. Well, we know table, ornate wooden table, is what was used to trap the not them with it. John destroyed it because he's an idiot. I love him. Oh, John. But that happened. And John destroyed it. So that's that. There's that. So that's basically one thing. We don't know what the deal is with the table exactly, but it seems that is what's going on. And I guess for the fourth dreamer, let's go. I do remember this dream, and I am such a freaking idiot because I remembered this dream. I remember it, but I thought because it showed her a vision, it seems, of Gertrude being somewhat in danger or something. It seemed like, I guess I thought it was like a vision from some other power in that sense, because like why would the eye show that or something like that, or like why would this be like an eye world, an eye dream, if it was like something like a prophecy threatening Gertrude or something like that. Yeah, okay. Prophetic dreams. Graduate school, Berkeley's. Okay, this is important. Graham, yeah, so the boyfriend thing is mentioned here. And it's just mentioned that Graham is gay in his first statement, Mag 3. Here, break up with boyfriend of 6 years, Graham. First of the dreams. There has to be some connection here with Graham's, maybe his notebooks keep watching. Why he has a table? We don't know Graham's backstory yet. Like, why he has the table, why he's so, I guess, hyper-vigilant, what he's dealt with, what he knows. Like, what the keep watching thing, does that have something to do with the eye? And this person has started to make dreams. I should have known the prophetic dreams probably had something to do with the eye, because it seems so eye-ish. That seems like something the eye would be involved in. I'm a fool. But yeah. Glowy pass across the skin. Doing pain, but was too badly affected. Blackie had the tendrils building it into people all over. The eyes open in pain and horror, and said Barclays. Whew. Yeah, suspended by his neck, and then there was confirmation that it was prophetic. Yikes, prophetic dreams always suck. I'm reading about his dad dying and him not being able to stop it. Oh my god, yeah. Crazy. I do remember this experience of listening to this statement, because it was a lot. It was like, oh my god. It felt more, because it was so unclear what was happening. There was nothing like all you had to go off in the statement was like a terrifying concept and just imagery and like no explanation whatsoever. Like, so the fact that it was like a dream thing made it all the more like a very interesting experience to listen to. Like, it had a very weird tone, especially since it was related to Gertrude. It's like something is going on here that is deeper than anything we know of so far. So this seemed very important at the time and very, unexplainable and also important. Thickened red light pattern. Yeah, the red. That's why I remember them as being red. Appearing in the tendrils before the light. Magnus Institute. In a room labeled archive. Yeah. Prophetic dream. Yeah, prophetic dream about Gertrude dying. That makes sense, because he saw stuff. It's interesting though, because he saw dreams about just people in his life dying, which makes sense because it's like, people around him and stuff. Like that, the dreams like proved that or showed that. And then that happened in real life. But it seems like he was led to the Institute. When he had these dreams, he was led there by like the light and the tendrils all going to the Institute. Yeah. He was led there to be able to see her death. And it wasn't like this dream thing killed her. It's that, I think I figured this out before. Like, she was going to die, and it happened because Elias shot her, I believe. Not because of any magic thing. Elias shot her, and he saw that was happening. We don't know why it was like still the absolute fear portion. Like, I don't know how the death of Gertrude worked out. I don't know exactly why this death seemed so horrifying in this statement. Is in this prophetic dream. We have no idea how it went down. Yeah. So he just saw a prophecy, and he was probably led there. I don't know if it was the eye, because the eye knows things, and this is like, I guess prophecy would be related to knowing things. And since it led him to the Institute, like this was a big, important event related to his dreams, like maybe that's why this is related to the eye in some way, but I don't know how he in particular is related to the eye. Because it seems like he was having these, because now that I know this, like it seems like why did you have to change his name? How interesting. They had to change his name from statement to statement just for me to read the description and be confused about who it is, and then before I start actually listening to the statement. Is that why? But it seems like he was having these dreams before Gertrude. Like, before he ever gave a statement to Gertrude, so it doesn't break the pattern in that sense, but I guess he's gonna explain it now. Whew. Skeptical, hazing, died in the line of duty. I think John said something funny. It was like, I heard that she died in the line of duty, I thought she like had a heart attack at her desk or something. Antonio. Okay. Oh, they said Antonio's a fake name. Thanks for that. Statement giver from Dreamer. Antonio. Fake name. But all the contacts are fake. Hey, Rosie mentioned John is concerned, and will ask no Rosie to pass up any new statement as soon as they are made. So, okay. They hinted at the fact that this person was important and was maybe going to reappear at some point under a different name by stating that he had a fake name, which I didn't know at the time. Name setup. I just thought that this was, I guess, him having a fake name was just a setup of him being smart and being, a capable prophet, and not wanting to have the Magnuses to have his details, to just give his statement out of moral obligation to maybe warn her, and then go like this mysterious man who has visions, and that it was just a like another illustration of his character, that this is a very mysterious, important statement given by a very mysterious magic prophet man. But no, it was it was set up for him to return under a different name. Under his real name, it seems. Oh my god, the burp finally came out. Excuse me. Okay, let's continue.
I really think either name has much meaning for me anymore.
Oh?
It's been almost 10 years since I first started dreaming about the deaths of others. Seeing
Okay.
those awful veins crawling into them. Into wounds not yet open, or skulls not yet split.
Okay, because we saw that. In the Sapient Dreamer, people had like the veins, like represented injuries that these people would sustain in their deaths.
People who are about to die. Every night I watch as they snake up and into throats about to choke on blood, or merging into hearts.
So very
about to convulse.
specifically about people, about prophetic dreams about death specifically. I didn't know if it was exactly that based on the summary. They showed a lot of deaths, but I didn't know it was like maybe some days he just sat there and he didn't witness any dead people. He just sat here in this weird, veiny dream world.
Come to terms with it. I've learned to live with it.
I'm so sorry.
About
Oh, I can
2
turn off the
years
thing now.
Before I came to your institute, something happened. Something I didn't want to talk about. Didn't
Oh,
even
you want to talk
think
about it now? 2 years before institute.
I started to see them when I was awake.
Oh,
It was subtle at first, so quick I could pretend I hadn't seen. Just a second of them webbed over the face of a drunk old man stumbling
so
to his death.
flashes.
A chain smoker exhales, and just for a second I catch one dangling from his mouth before it
Oh.
slithers back inside.
Death by lung
Across the
cancer.
bridge, and I
Don't
might
smoke,
see one
kids.
snaking along the road and over towards the railing.
Oh,
Looking back now, I
suicide.
feel like an idiot, trying to pretend I was imagining it. that
You
I was
just dream
tired or whatever
PTSD.
I told myself.
I just have PTSD from my
Started to happen
awful
more
dreams.
And I began to avoid the places that I visited in my dreams. I sort of knew, you see, that not all of the chords would have faded when I woke up. I still remember the first time I tried to touch one. In my
Oh.
dreams the night before, I had found my way back to my own street. I don't know why I did it. I knew it was a stupid thing to do, walking past my own home in a dream.
Now
but I
you
just-
see a bunch of tendrils that you
Maybe I
don't
wanted
need
it
to
this
see.
way.
You don't want to
I
see.
mean, when I stepped out the building that morning, I didn't turn towards the bus stop like I always do. I turned right instead. Walked over to the little alleyway where I knew, sometime in the next week, a young woman was going to have a fatal aneurysm.
Oh, dang.
And
You're very good at
there they were
reading.
on the
You're very good at reading vine signs at this point.
concrete, like
Like-
a starburst of
I don't know what
roots
in it.
spreading and reaching out from the
Oh.
spot where her head was going to hit the ground. They moved just like in the dreams. bobbing
He's sad in
and
real life, huh?
I had to take a moment, just to be sure, just to be completely sure that I was awake. Felt like I was staring at it for hours.
I can't believe they set this up so early. Oh my god, they said episode 3, Graham. Episode, 11, Graham boyfriend. Like, come on. Yeah, this is episode 11. Screw these guys. It's episode 121. It's so ridiculous. They said 11, maybe that episode squared. We're gonna... 121 is 11 squared, isn't it? Maybe episode 11 squared we'll get back to this character, which we planned since the beginning because we're insane writers.
But I don't think it was much more than a few minutes.
Okay,
didn't
let's go back a
fade.
little.
I had to take a moment, just to be sure, just to be completely sure that I was awake. Felt like I was staring at it for hours. But I
Very
don't
good
think
at
it was
reading
much more
in
than a few
Vine to
minutes.
injury translations.
They didn't
I already
fade,
talked about that.
didn't vanish, and there was no way for me to pretend that they weren't there. So I reached out my hand and tried to touch them. You know what's weird, right? In all my years of being a... what am I? Deaf prophet? Whatever.
Death Prophet.
I had never actually touched a corpse. Hardly ever seen one in real life. I could have told you in a moment how many people in this hospital were going to die. How I would
Oh.
do it tonight.
So these were
even
very,
how it was going to happen.
very death focused. Nightmares. Prophet. Death Prophet. Okay. And he got very good at interpreting them very easily. Or maybe it's just because of the dream logic. He was very able to tell. Just
But I had
intrinsically.
never once actually come up close to a dead body. I always assumed they were cold. Not quite damp, but sort of clammy. Still. This was like ice. No, colder than ice. The sort of cold that just
Is
cuts
that
right through
normal?
you. It was soft and rubbery, squirming when I pressed on it and recoiling from the tip of my finger. I'd
Ugh.
never felt anything as cold as those veins.
Cold
It was
veins.
Patient. It made me think of those winter mornings when I was a kid with no snow, just frost and frozen mist over everything.
Strangely nostalgic
Keeping the world in
connection.
place, curling you up into yourself and quietly waiting for you to lose your footing, to slip up and fall,
Oh.
snap.
I thought this was like, oh, strangely positive connection, but then nope. Not a positive connection. We're gonna die in the cold.
Made me think of dead worlds floating out into space.
Dead
Places
worlds?
that didn't know and didn't care that life even existed. It made me think of mortality. Like
Oh
the
god.
seconds that were dragging me to the grave.
Maybe this is a death. I mean, the end. Given connected man. Yeah, okay. Okay. I don't know exactly though.
Think of
Because his like nonplussed, like sort of blasé attitude about it, the way he describes the sort of existential like openness that he experienced when he touched this thing, it reminds me of previous end statements like Georgie's, actual Georgie's, not Melanie's. Like being like opened up to the idea that life is meaningless because death is inevitable. But I don't know exactly.
worlds floating out into space. Places that didn't know and didn't care that life even existed. It made me think of mortality. Like the seconds that were dragging me to the grave were being pulled out of me. And the worst part was that somewhere in me,
Even without compelling, this guy is a storyteller. He's killing right now. He's got it. He's got it. He knows what he wants to say.
I liked it.
Oh, you liked it.
Underneath all that awful fear, it felt like home.
Oh.
After that happened, they wouldn't leave me alone. I could see them spreading, see them growing. Even when I went to your institute, tried to warn her, I could see them crawling through the corridors towards the archives. They never got quite as big as they were in my dreams, but it wasn't long before I was seeing them all the time. I tried to avoid them, of course I did.
We didn't
But
leave alone in the
sometimes I
waking
didn't
world.
notice, and I would brush against them.
Oh.
Never mattered what I was wearing. Cold would just cut through it like a razor.
In the association with like coldness with the dead, I do see the end connection now, but I don't know exactly if that's just all in my head.
To escape, I needed to. I became obsessed with trying to find somewhere with fewer and fewer people. Moving out of the city helped, but, well, people still die in the countryside.
No.
I saw
Yeah.
them coiling around a fence post by the road, climbing up the wall and into the top window of a beautiful little cottage.
Oh.
I'll never forget seeing a field of cows the week before they were sent to the abattoir.
Oh.
Spend
No,
hours researching.
not all this animal
desperately
death.
Looking at remote locations.
Animal
Places
fear.
far away from.
I don't want to hear about animals all the time. The Magnus Archives never stopping to remind me about how the current human eating system works.
Civilization and all its dying people. Lonely summits, deep jungles, deserts where even animals couldn't live. I was so hungry for the
Seeing the
peace that
animal
all these
death too
places
is
could give me.
there's no escape. Death everywhere.
Then I read about Point Nemo.
Point Nemo?
If you look it up online, they call it the Oceanic Point of Inaccessibility.
It's like
It's a
Captain
spot
Nemo.
in the middle of the South Pacific Ocean. Specifically, it is the furthest it's possible to be from any landmass. 1,400 miles from anyone or anything. No ships ever need to travel through it, and ocean currents keep away the nutrients that would
Okay.
normally support the
Repeat
South
that to me
Pacific
again.
Ocean. Specifically, it is the furthest it's possible to be from any landmass. 1,400
Furthest
miles from anyone
possible.
or anything. No
Me forgetting that the Earth is a globe for a minute. It was like the furthest you can be from any landmass, and then I was like, but doesn't the ocean keep going? No, if you go around a certain point, you'll again be closer to a landmass because you keep going. You're gonna run into another landmass because the Earth is round. Furthest point from land. Okay.
ships ever need to travel through it.
Sounds
and ocean
very
currents keep away the
vast,
nutrients that would normally
like...
support sea life. It is the emptiest,
Oh, can you repeat
it is
that again?
the furthest it's possible to be from any landmass. 1,400 miles from anyone or anything. No ships ever need to travel through it, and ocean currents keep away the nutrients that would normally support sea life.
Think ocean currents keep life away? Keep life and people away. That is... a lot.
Emptiest,
Also,
most
the
lifeless
lonely would
place
love
on
this
Earth.
place too.
Sometimes the closest humans
No
are
wonder
in the
we're
satellites orbiting up
allies.
above it, before they fall out of the sky, of course. It turns
Excuse
out,
me?
life. It is the emptiest, most lifeless place on Earth. Sometimes the closest humans are in the satellites orbiting up above it, before they fall out of the sky, of course.
Oh, closest to this point would be satellites rather than the actual land. That is actually kind of insane. That is really a good picture of how far away this place is.
It turns out, Point Nemo is an ideal site for spacecraft to crash land. There must be hundreds of wrecks down there, taken from the edge of one lifeless abyss and sent screaming down into another. I loved it. The idea of it, of being so far from anything.
Space...
Somewhere that there was...
Why exactly would spacecrafts crash there? He mentioned it, but I don't know the exact logic and reasoning there. Just because... It's probably something like gravity and physics, or I don't know. I don't know. Okay, moving on.
little life that death could never find me. Empty, clear water,
Death could
free
never
of those
find you?
creeping tendrils. Of course, I had no way to get there.
A
I'm a
boat!
rich man, and even
Let's
if I
just
was,
go.
it's not like I have any idea how to organize a sea voyage. So,
How do you
for
just
years,
stay
it was
there?
my little fantasy, my escape.
Like, you can't just stay
Whenever
there
it got too
forever. You
much
need
for me,
food
then I
and
woke up
such.
to those veins reaching along the wall towards my neighbour's apartment. I would go
Oh.
online and look at the photos people claimed were taken at Point Nemo. I would revel in the thought that those claims were probably lies, as there was a very good chance that no human being had ever reached the exact
Oh.
coordinates that promised
I'm
me
gonna
my
be the
escape.
one to not lie about it.
But I couldn't dream of it. I tried, of course. I spent every moment of lucidity I had trying to guide myself far, far away from
Because he
land,
was walking
away
around
from those horrid tubes that
traveling
sat there, throbbing doom
during
out
his
into the
dreams.
world. But each time I started to get away from them, whenever I felt I might have reached a point where I couldn't see any more of them, I would start to feel this tugging on my leg, like
So,
something was wrapped around
it's like
it and
the
starting to
dreams
gently
exist solely for the purpose of him to see death. You like see these tendrils enacting their deadly work.
squeeze. Something that pulsed very softly. I never quite had the courage to actually look at it. I'd
Oh,
always just turn around
that
and
makes
start
it
moving back
scarier.
towards the city,
okay.
and it would let me go. I never even got over the channel in my dreams, let alone all the way to the South Pacific.
Oh,
So,
we got
you
some
can
far
maybe
away.
imagine how I felt when I found an article tucked in the margins of a regional paper talking about an upcoming expedition to sail a research vessel down to Point Nemo.
Oh my
These
god,
didn't go
how
into much
perfect.
detail about what they were trying to do. Something about measuring the amount of plastic and chemicals in the water, seeing how much impact humans have on
What'd they say?
paper, talking about an upcoming expedition to sail a research vessel down to Point Nemo.
The
The piece
blank?
didn't go into much detail about
The
what
piece,
they were trying
okay.
to do.
I just missed a
Something
word.
about measuring the amount of plastic and chemicals in the water, seeing how much impact humans had had on the environment at its most extreme point. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. And
I don't
must
care
say,
about all that nature
there was no
science
legitimate
stuff.
way I was ever gonna make it
Time
onto
to
that ship.
go escape my
But
dreams.
none of that mattered. I had to do it. I hadn't been sleeping much, I suppose, and I had it lodged into my mind that if I could just get there...
So, okay, my initial assumption firstly seemed like, because now I'm seeing like a death pattern, but yeah, the assumption that this didn't have anything to do with giving the statement to Gertrude is strange that he's down, but like at the beginning he stated like first it was Gertrude, now it's you. Now you're in my dreams, but now, oh. Could it be that he saw John's death? Or he saw John's death, as in John's going to die in the show? Or he saw John's death, like as in the one that occurred during the unknowing? Right, where before he saw Gertrude's death and he was like compelled to go see it, to go to the institute and see it. Was he compelled to go see John's death afterwards? So it's not like the whole like, I shouldn't have connected it to... I wasn't stupid to not connect it to the John's nightmare realm. Maybe. So that's what he was talking about, where it's like he had to escape the prophecy of her death, and then he was interrupted again by seeing his. Let's go. Let's just see.
Nemo, if I could be far enough away from mortality and people and land, then I could rest. I could finally have a dreamless sleep. So, I did some digging, found the identity of a few crew members and started to track them down. I told myself I didn't know what I was looking for, but I did. Of course I did. And I
Excuse
finally
me?
saw them, following along behind Dr. Thomas Pritchard.
Thomas
He was a
Pritchard?
younger guy, some sort of chemist, and he had a habit of driving his motorcycle a bit too recklessly.
Oh.
When I saw him that first time, the veins were tumbling out from the open visor of his bike helmet and coiling themselves around his throat so tightly that it almost seemed like his head wasn't attached to the rest of him.
Oh.
Of course, after he went flying over the barrier at 95 miles an hour, well, it's neither here nor there. It was 3 in the morning, and the motorway was silent except for me and the mangled remains of Dr. Thomas Pritchard. I knew exactly what I had to do. He didn't look anything like me. Not really. But that didn't
Take
matter.
his
All
identity.
that mattered was my desperation to finally have a good night's sleep. I looked at his body,
Okay.
but all I could think of was the gentle rocking of lifeless waves. So,
I only care about one thing.
and his keys.
Tunnel vision.
Then I touched my very first corpse as I loaded what was left of him and his motorcycle.
Now we
into
touch a corpse, not just a
very
tendril.
well-hidden spot near Epping Forest.
So like he was driven and he was like, I'm going to track down these crew members and I'm going to see one of them die and take their place. Okay, well, he didn't do anything to them per se unless it was like a subconscious thing. But man, okay. Identity theft. Whew. Desperation. I can't believe that okay, yeah. Because at the time when I heard Dreamer, I assumed that actually, like, the vines, I didn't assume that the vines especially, like, specifically meant death. I don't know what I did assume. I didn't know exactly what they represented, but I thought there was death involved, but I thought it was, like, just a power, like, a force was coming, like, a big, powerful force. Or like a negative force of energy or something, because like there was a guy being killed. But when it showed like all those vines and veins leading to the institute and Gertrude's death glowing at that, like it's so important. I thought Elias shot her, like such a significant death that like they were all glowing and stuff. I had it had more significance than just her death. I thought it was more like there was a dark force coming, and that dark force also was involved, slightly related to death in the sense that like there's like all his family members that were dying. But it seems very clear here that these tendrils are death, like they are death. It could be more general than that, just bad things.
I don't actually remember how I felt. Heavy, I
Being
think.
desensitized to death.
But I had other concerns. It was a daft plan. It shouldn't have worked. Someone should have driven past while I was moving them. Someone should have seen me.
So is there
But
an
they didn't.
aspect of the supernatural
With his
here?
keys,
You're being
I
supported
let
by
myself
this
into Dr. Pritchard's
death
plan and
god.
gathered as much information on the expedition as I could. It wasn't a lot. Not that I could really understand. And I just had to hope it was enough to pass myself off. Even if it was only long enough to get one good night's sleep.
He needs it.
As
He
it
is
turned out, I
obsessed
wasn't bothered.
with the
As
idea.
far as I could tell, nobody on board had actually met Dr. Pritchard in person. A couple of people told me they had the greatest respect for my work.
Oh,
A few did say how
I'm
different
supposed
I
to be a
had sounded on
scientist.
the phone. But once I walked up and said who I was, nobody even bothered to check my ID.
Crazy, because there's probably a picture
I
on
don't
there.
remember the name of the ship. I mean, boarding it was such a blur I didn't really notice
It's
much.
just a
and
happy
later
coincidence,
on,
it
was far
seems,
too
that they were
nervous to
taking this
ask.
expedition that he needed.
It was large, though, with every spare inch covered in scientific equipment of some sort or another. I was relieved to find out I was the only chemist on board, so nobody was going to see me misusing anything, figure out what was going on. At least,
How convenient.
not until it was too late to act upon it.
Oh,
There were a couple of marine biologists on board, a meteorologist, an engineer.
no equipment
Someone who
overlap.
called herself a macroecologist, though at times she looked almost as out of her depth as I did.
Why was he so... Why was he so toxically unimpressed with the economist? Is that like a fake career field? I don't know anything about it.
Beyond that, there were half a dozen crew running the ship.
A lot of people.
They were led by Captain Maccabee, a tall, ugly woman with a sharp tongue, though it was never clear to me whether she was the one in charge of the expedition, or if it was Clara, the senior-most marine biologist. It didn't really matter, of course. As far as I was concerned, Dr. Pritchard was a private, standoffish person who liked to spend his time alone in his makeshift lab, or asleep in his bunk. And I did sleep. The further we got from land, the deeper,
It's like,
the more peaceful
thank
it
God,
became.
no people.
I still dreamed, of course. But I
Oh
would
my
just
God,
wonder
hi. Moon Blossom in chat. Hello. I'm so sorry this is so late for you. But I don't think I'm going to be taking too long with this episode.
his makeshift lab, or asleep in his bunk. And I did sleep. The further we got from land, the deeper and more peaceful it became. I still dreamed, of course, but I would just wander the empty deck of the ship, drinking in the quiet atmosphere of the place.
No one on the ship dying yet? Let's
I
go.
had to force myself not to look over the railing in my dreams. Once or twice, while staring at the peaceful dream water, I almost felt like I could see something moving deep, deep below the surface.
Oh, so
possibly
there's
huge and
like...
dark.
Oh, so there's... Yeah, there's a lot of life in the ocean, so there's probably a lot of death in the ocean, like lurking under there. Okay, that also makes sense. Oh, the vision. We hate the sea. I don't hate the... Well, we don't hate the sea. The sea's just scary. We love the sea, but the sea is terrifying. And it's so scary.
I quickly learned the lesson to remain fully focused upon the ship when I dreamed. Of course, the more rest I got, the more lucid I became. I was thinking more clearly than I had in months, and the absolute foolishness of what I'd done to get there was starting to sink in. There was
Out of
exactly
the-
no way that they would.
The single-minded drive wore off, and I'm like, oh no, what have I done? That's nice. Oh, I stole someone's identity just to sleep. That's crazy. You know, death visions will do that to a guy. Drive him insane. You know, push to the point of identity theft.
Figure out that I did not have a doctorate in chemistry or such like. I was thinking more clearly than I had in months, and the absolute foolishness of what I'd done to get there was starting to sink in. There was exactly no way that they wouldn't figure out that I did not have a doctorate in chemistry or
Eventually.
such like. And when that happened, I had no idea what I was going to do. I spent days trying to think of some sort of plan, but in the end, the best I could come up with was just to wait for it. Throw
Just
myself
no.
on their mercy and
Let's
hope
just
that they'd
hope
take
it
enough
never
pity on me not to
happens.
immediately pitch me
I just wanted to
overboard into the
sleep.
waters
They're
of
not
the
gonna
sea.
understand it. It's supernatural based.
But that was the future. Before then,
And
I
for
had
now,
months of peaceful
I'm gonna
sleep ahead
sleep.
of me. Then I had weeks, then days. The ship kept going, powering on towards a destination I wasn't completely sure.
Did
I
he
still
like
wanted.
stand around and pretend to take like measurements or something? Like how did they not question it? Well, I guess are we taking measurements specifically at this location that's so far away from land? Is that what we're doing?
I started to wander the decks in my waking hours as well as my sleeping, staring at the horizon. It never ended, but kept getting closer, all the same.
That's how
Time is
Earth
like
works.
that, isn't it?
Oh, and time.
Just keeps going. No matter what happens, it just carries on. And it strips everything away from you in the end. The good and the
Yeah,
bad,
I guess
until there
you're
was nothing left of
you're
either.
reading really the end like.
This too shall pass.
Oh,
All good things must come to an end.
oh,
Memento
And-
mori.
and very end.
As soon as I woke up, I knew he had finally reached Point Nemo. Everything felt different, like the calm I had been getting accustomed to had been torn away completely.
Oh, now I'm
Very
scared.
happy.
What's gonna
It was
happen?
Just this horrible, ice-cold terror.
Oh,
I felt something on my chest, coiling up my back and pulsing gently around my throat.
am I gonna die?
I didn't
And by
need to
me, I
look
mean
down to know
Oliver?
what it was. In a second, I was out of my bunk and charging onto the deck, just to see veins, dark and cold and bigger by far than any I had ever seen, rise up from the water below us. They towered over the ship for just a second before starting to wrap themselves around it.
Are we all going to
The
die?
embrace looked almost affectionate.
But we know Oliver
The
doesn't
crew
die.
didn't seem to notice,
Well, yeah.
walking through the immense grasping tendrils like they weren't there at all.
They don't have the
Even as
vision.
small and branching cords stretched off and wrapped around each one of them in turn. And the soft, icy flesh that wrapped around me kept gripping me tighter and tighter.
Well, you seem very alive right now.
I wanted to scream, but the others were already staring at me as if I was screaming obscenities. Perhaps I was. At that
Die,
moment,
I'm gonna
a sudden
die.
calm came over me. I understood it all. I could follow the line of the huge veins that encased the ship down into the water, leading off to a point almost a mile from the southeast. There. That was it. That
Point
was our
Nemo?
fate,
And we're gonna die
where we
there?
would always be. Because I was going to take us there. Running was pointless. To try to escape from my task would only serve to fulfill another. I finally understood what I needed to do. I couldn't steer a ship myself, of course, but there were plenty of other people on board who could. As long as I could persuade them, which I did.
Oh, dang, okay. To a point.
I don't know where I got the gun.
Oh.
Once Captain Maccabee was dead, the others were very keen to sail wherever I wanted.
Murder. It was a coup. Like a pirate ship aboard this research vessel. We're oh, less persuasion, more threat. So he picked up a gun and said, "Drive us back," and then we went, and he killed the captain. It seems, which is a lot. That's a lot. Oh my god. Oh my god. He did the way he describes it, like he didn't even by the time I realized it, they were already dead. like he like completely went out of his mind, just like he sort of went out of his mind when he killed. No, he didn't kill him. When he saw that guy's death and took his identity and was only later realizing it, like on instinct, on pure fear response instinct. Let's get out of here. It's what these entities do crazy things to you, man.
Tight and pulled us all slowly, inevitably, towards our grave. I don't know where I got the gun, but once Captain Maccabee was dead, the others were very keen to sail wherever I wanted. The doom held me tight and pulled us all slowly, inevitably, towards our grave. And when we got there, we cut the engines and began to wait. I could feel all of their eyes look to me.
Or are we going there to die?
Some sort of explanation. I
What are we
almost tried to
doing?
give them one,
What are we
but I barely
doing?
got the
What's
first
the
word
plan?
before the falling satellite debris hit the ship at 200 miles an hour, killing us instantly.
What? Wait, us?
Right.
Because what my interpretation of that was that, oh, but he did say right beforehand, like, even if we got away, it'd be leading us to another doom. I think that's what he said. So, like, he just made them, he took the thing and made them go to the location. Why did he make them, weren't they already going to the location? Was it a slightly off location? Were they going too slow? But he seems like he put them in the place where they would die, and that satellite thing was set up for the satellite was set up for them all getting hit by a satellite. Okay.
That's,
Are
it,
you
I
dead?
suppose.
Are you a ghost?
Maybe you heard me. Maybe you'll dream. Then again, maybe I just wasted my breath. But I don't think so. Honestly, I'm still not exactly sure why I'm here. But you know better than anyone how the spiders can get into your head.
Spiders? 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 The web? What are you doing here? I thought you weren't even relevant in this statement. There was a lot of control, and not control, there was a lot of moving without thinking, and like being just doing actions without thought out of desperation, but I didn't think the web was involved. Or are you just saying a little saying? The spiders. Spiders? What?
You have to just do what she asks.
She?
The thing is, John,
She?
honestly, I'm still not exactly sure why I'm
So
here.
the web walk him
You know
here
better than anyone
to
how
give
the
this
spiders
statement?
can get into your head. Easier to just do what she asks.
to spiders. But see, he says John would know. But John hasn't. John had that encounter with the Leitner tome, Mr. Spider. But aside from that, I guess he was walked against his will someplace.
Yes, John. Right now, you have a choice.
Huh?
You've put it off a long time, but it's trapping you here. You're not quite human enough to die, but still
Okay.
too human to survive.
Oh,
You're balanced on an edge
I'm
where
in
the
between
end can't
human
touch
and
you,
unhuman.
you can't
And
escape him.
okay,
I made a choice.
so I'm balancing between end and not end. Nice to see it referenced by name. Oop. Balancing act.
We all made choices. Now you have to.
Make a choice.
Can I help you?
So this guy, in driving them to this collision point with the satellite, chose the end. So this guy, Oliver, chooses the end. I can't believe I never figured out that this thing was an end thing, because I didn't make the connection with death. I just thought I was too focused on Gertrude and the Institute existing in the dream and being such a focal point that I didn't connect it especially with death. I connected it generally with just this prophecy and like this some sort of foreshadowing and power related to what was going on. It also involved death as an after effect, but I didn't really like put a special emphasis on all the deaths that were shown as part of these prophecies. I just thought it was part of it for some reason. So he came here to try to make John choose death because he chose death and then became probably just an avatar. Was the spider thing then, because he doesn't serve the spider, it's obvious he serves the end at least. It seems like was the spider thing just a metaphor of like, oh, these things that move you against your will. Just a little avatar humor, I don't know.
Friend of John's.
Are you now?
Yes.
Right, just haven't seen you visiting before.
It's crazy how he wanted to give this whole statement for a reason. Like, let me tell you my whole life story before I kill you. Like, okay, maybe it's more evident at the beginning, but it's also like, that's also a very real, like, thing that humans want to do. To, like, explain something before something happens.
I've been out of town.
Right.
Thank you, random
Didn't
nurse
say anyone else was here.
or doctor.
Well.
Thank you, random nurse or doctor, for being so responsible with monitoring visitors.
Sorry if I surprised you.
It's fine.
I'm Antonio.
Sure.
That's actually his real name.
Mind giving us a minute?
No,
that's actually his fake name. I look at my notes and I'm like, wait, that's his fake name. His real name's Oliver. The way she said, sure. Wait, is this? No. The voice sounds familiar. Oh, I'm so bad with voices. It's Georgie, isn't it? It's Georgie Barker. And, and that's why she said the nurse said no one's supposed to be here. She's visiting John. I'm an idiot. I mistook her for a nurse or something who was just very, very observant and good at management, but no, it's someone who cares. That makes so much more sense. Her walking in to visit John and being like, oh, who? That's her, I don't know, hidden depth of knowledge and knowing that that's a fake name.
Oh.
This is Georgia, right?
Have I upset you, miss?
No, you just remind me of someone.
Ah.
Like the death person that whispered in my ear that one time.
Were they?
Evil. Yes.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay then. I should just go.
Like, he so resolutely gave up. He was like, oh, okay then. Bye. Man, thwarted it again. I just wanted to do a death thing. Okay. I'm so bad at recognizing voices. I am so sorry, Georgie. It's been so long, and I'm really bad. Oh, but I'm glad I caught it quicker than not quick.
You should.
I can't believe I mistook her for
Your
just
choice,
someone. Someone I guess had to warn him. Death or not death? Or is the question, because he said you're too human to be alive, but you're too inhuman to die. So is the choice between death or not death between humanity and unhumanity? Like, does John have to choose to become inhuman to be able to survive? Is that what's going on here? That seemed to be the implication.
Sorry about that. But you really don't need friends like that.
Georgie's nonplussed says, sorry, you don't need friends that are evil like that. She clocked him immediately clocks. Oh, immediately clocks evil. Oh? Spill the beans, kid. Death. Ass. Oh. Static? Is this Lucas static? Or is that us static? John? John? Okay. You say your thing. Let's head on to the wiki.
The Magnus Archives is a podcast distributed by Rusty Quill and licensed under a Creative Commons
Okay.
Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 4.0.
Yeah, 121.
Today's episode was written by Jonathan Sims and directed by Alexander J. Newell. To subscribe,
I can't believe I began this reading the description saying, hey, you can't have a premiere without Jonathan Sims. And he proceeded to not talk through any of it. Maybe he breathed at the end. Presents, but he proceeded to not talk through any of it. I think, which makes sense because it seems more grounded than like having this like in his nebulous dream state after he's supposed to be like dead right now. Like he's supposed to be dead, like physically. Like it would be cheap if he was just showing. That's why I thought he wouldn't be part of the statement, because like it would be cheap if he died and then just showed up again, like immediately. So this makes more sense. But like his presence still had to be here.
view associated material, or join
So I was right and wrong.
Rate and review us online. Tweet us at The Rusty Quill. Visit us on Facebook or email us at mail@rustyquill.com. Join our communities on the forum via the website or on Reddit at r/themagnusarchives.
He just really continues his statement.
Thanks for listening.
Terrible chill. But the terrible chill felt like home. Okay, I keep talking over the Magnus Archives music because I'm like rushing. Yeah, starts to isolate himself, devoicing people's fates. I guess Death just said to him, "Hey, yeah. Do you want to feel comforted by my vines, or do you want to keep running from it forever?" And then he chose to stop running and join it. It's like, I am no longer unsettled by it. I guess this statement actually gives his process of progression of like feeling unsettled by this, and like not wanting to experience it, and then more and more so getting acclimated to the concept of death around him, and like using the vines, using them to his advantage and stuff like that. Which is, and in the end he chose death. Okay. Fantasizes, finds some guy, fated to die, takes his identity, enjoys it for months, tearing out of the sea, engulfing all of the crew. Terrible clarity, understanding of fate and purpose, hijacks the boat, shooting, forcing where the vines originate from. So I guess it's not it may have been, because the whole falling satellite thing is like, hey, at Point Nemo, that's where probably a bunch of satellites fall. So the fact that he drove here, this originating point may have just been Point Nemo because of the foreshadowing. Yeah, this summary makes it very, very clear what's actually what he meant here. It says John, he's comatose because he hasn't chosen to embrace the eye as Oliver chose to embrace the end. Now he's teeter-tottering. Yeah, not human enough to be claimed by death, but too human to survive, cannot move until he makes the choice. Either die and as a human, or live as a eye person. Yeah, Georgie, I didn't recognize your voice for a minute because I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's so embarrassing. She immediately recognizes that he's sus. Yeah, that's not your real name. I can't believe I accidentally mixed up his real name and fake name. He's like, I'm Antonio. And I'm like, wow, that he gave it. Jodie was like, no. And I was like, wait, but what? That's his real name. Nope, that's his fake name. That's the joke. She sussed him out immediately. She says, yeah, you're evil. Get out of here. Realizes something and goes to... Oh, what the heck? They do say the end in the web. Yeah, okay. I am not crazy. I said spiders the web. I was like, what the heck? Because it seems like he says, hey, you know how it feels like to get walked somewhere by the web. And he's like, why am I here? I got walked here by the web. And I was like, is that real? Because he seems like an end entity. And not entity, a avatar. Yeah, the end in the web. It seemed very obvious because I forgot he literally just mentions at the end of it that he is like he chose the end. Like that's his thing. Like I forgot that he just said that. I can't believe I associated the dreams. I didn't associate the dreams in episode 11 with death. It was so obvious now that I think about it in hindsight, but now it's very, very obvious especially I needed the feelings that he described from touching the vines to immediately associated with death, because those are, it's more like, even if with like there's like stuff going on, like I guess if it's unless it's something obvious like bugs and like mannequins and stuff, like it's mostly the thing that like is able to identify an entity for me is the thematic feeling around it, and the thing with the end is like the embrace of death, or like like the comfort of existentially knowing that there is nothing, like life is nothing. Like that's a death thing. Yeah. So yeah, Georgie, it's cool that Georgie was able to come here right when death was around. She's getting drawn to it. Okay. Yeah. She realizes something and goes to chase him down. I thought she realized that the tape was running or something, or that he said something important, but it's probably something else, because it's like, why would she care about the tape? Like, she knows John's thing with the tapes, but it's not really, I don't know, it's not really too much. It's like not like that surprising or like urging. Yeah, static fills the recorder as Jonathan Sims begins to breathe again. Okay, yeah. Okay, this isn't a spoiler. You were in Grifter's bone? Okay. This isn't the spoiler. It would have been I would have known if I looked at the, wow, it's crazy, the whole continuity section isn't a spoiler. But I would have known this if I looked at the statement number. So this is 6 months since the end of season 3. So John's been in a coma for 6 months. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, the continuity section is mentioning people that I don't know. But I guess thanks for confirming to me that I'm not crazy when he said that he was taken to John by Webb. Weird. Really weird. Okay, I'm just not gonna read that part. He was in Grifter's bone too? Okay, let me see. Well, I could look on my thing, but then I have the characters thing up in here. I can't believe I'm forgetting all these characters. I do remember Grifter's bone like strongly, because Grifter's bone was like, I believe, was it the season 2 premiere? It was close to that. I think I watched it on stream. Antonio, yeah. Yeah, he does show at, no. Yeah, 95, there's someone named Antonio that shows up. But that's not 95. Is absent without leave. This is different. Is he in Grifter's bone? Okay, maybe that's a spoiler. I have no idea what that's talking about. That is crazy. Wait, what does it say? Wait a second. What? Interesting. That's interesting. Do we know that he was in Grifter's bone? Okay, let me look at, okay, I'll look for it. What, is there an Antonio in here? or a headphones? No. No, I don't know. Uh, Is this him? Like, this is a spoiler for a future episode. Usually, those continuity sections are marked with the phrase spoiler if there's spoilers in them. And all the spoiler stuff is below the marking and all the non-spoiler stuff is above it. But I think it betrayed me this time. This goes to show I should never look in the continuity section. Okay. Let's just ignore that. Life sucks. But it seems like Georgie's going to and wants to like continue conversing with this man. She realized something showed up probably visually in the room that she noticed, which I can't really talk about because I can't see anything. Despite being a stand-in for the eye, it's very strange because I can't see anything. I can only listen. Okay. Yeah. Wait, let me go back and see one thing. I want to see that there is the static sound. I want to see the difference between the Magnus Archives static sound, the tape static sound, and because there's a static sound that plays when John uses his powers and all that stuff. I'm far too far. It's during. I know it's very prominent during Masquerade.
Took the skin, used it to coat people made of sawdust and stuffing, but I suppose I thought it just ate the rest.
No, this is not the Masquerade. It's during Stranger and Stranger.
Stranger and Stranger.
Oh, I love you, Stranger and Stranger. But aside from that, let's look at the static.
Need a second to...
Everyone going crazy.
Don't you worry, Archivist.
It's me.
Breaking and hope.
I need a second
Okay.
to...
Oh, everyone dying.
John. Yes, that's me.
Give it to me.
Yes. If you could, I'd like
I don't want to listen to this again.
Tim.
Yes.
Imagine if you'd used it. We'd all have come to quite a nasty end.
No, that.
Oh yeah, it is the same, the squeaky noise. But man, I'm trying to think of what the lonely sound effect is again. I think I mentioned it before, but I'm so bad at remembering things. But maybe I think in Eye Contact they have an example of it. This is some whiplash going statement to statement. Let's get rid of this for a minute.
Red dress shifting with the movement beneath it.
Yeah.
By Story Sylvester, Alexander J. Newell, and John Law as Nicola Orson.
Go? Of course.
Well, I guess it's the same type of static. I think I talked about it before, but I think I may have mistaken that they would be more different. It's the same buzzing, ding, or maybe I don't know. Let me look at let's look back at the 121 static.
Imagine the softest sheets
Okay,
you've
ads.
ever felt. Now it
Have to.
Okay.
Can I help you?
Well, I'm afraid.
I'm still laughing about how easily this guy gave up. Well, it seems like, I don't know if he was, because it seemed like he was taunting John to make a choice, but it also seemed like he was planning to make the choice for him, just how sinisterly he was talking.
Of John's.
Are you now?
Yes.
Right, just haven't seen you visiting before.
I was like an
Do you,
overly perceptive
mind you-
nurse. I was like, no, this makes more
Okay,
sense. So, okay then.
Just bye.
Bye.
I should just
I guess you should.
make your choice, John.
Man, I was gonna convince him to choose death. Man. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. No one gets that reference. Oh god.
Sorry about that. But you really don't need friends like that.
She was so calm about it too.
Did-
Just like, you don't need friends like that great evil. see something, or maybe since he's breathing after this, maybe his vitals are going up. No, it seems like it happens after the static, so it's not very, I don't know what she saw, but it's just like something like, hey, you did something, let's converse more about it. Well, I guess different static is used on different occasions, because it isn't like the whistly, like, beep, it's static, it's like more, but that whistly static, I guess, was also used during, but it could have been just more of a transition sound during the unknowing. But this, probably more, John breathing, John breathing, okay. Don't tell me he made that choice that quickly. He was listening and he was like, living or not living? I guess I'm living. Okay. Aside from that, strangely, what the hell does the web have to... What steak does... Oh my god, my stomach. That's crazy. Okay. But what the hell stake does the web have in having Jonathan Sims be alive or dead, or either or? Like, what does it have in John? Maybe they wanted John dead. Oh, sorry. Because it seemed like maybe this guy was trying to kill John, but okay, first let me, okay, instead of re-listening to the episode again, which is sort of inconvenient, I can go and look at the transcript. My stomach is going crazy. It's going bananas. Okay. Turn that window capture back on. Okay, far away. I do not like. Do you mind if I call you too much? Too much Nicola Orsanov. Reminders. The archivist. So yeah, I thought it was more of like, it had to do with Gertrude's dreams, and then it had more to do with John's dreams, because that's, you know, when I hear a statement is about someone talking to John about dreams, I'm like, it's John's dreams, but it's, I guess not. That's interesting. So I do wonder though about how, if he said he saw Gertrude in the dreams, which we know about, when did he see John? Wish I knew why I came here. I guess I'm impacted by the web too. That slimy bastard. He can control us even when we're claimed by something else. So it seems like, I guess since then, even if he's chosen the end and he's been claimed by it fully, he's still having these dreams, probably, but with an embrace of them. And now we didn't get like an explicit explanation of it, but it seems like he's probably having these dreams about John now that he's teetering between life and death. There's some confusing vine dreams going on in his head about it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I should have paid attention to the line. That was different, though. That was different. Because now it's like there's something weird going on with you teetering between life and death. I should have known when he said that was different, that there was different situations going on. Like, this isn't, like, related. Like, he's not going through the same thing with both of them. He saw Gertrude's because she stuck her nose in everywhere it wasn't wanted and stirred up hornets. And then that means, like, she stuck her nose into business and then someone killed her for it. And that person was Elias. He figured it out, I guess. It's crazy how that presented in that dream, though. It presented so intensely for something that was just Elias shooting her in the head. But it had big ramifications, I bet. But also, a lot was going on in that dream. Okay. So this is before I became super evil about it. I was like, man, I just shouldn't have worn her. It was too much effort. So yeah, I pointed out at the beginning that this guy seemed very inhuman and too casual, and it seemed like he knew too much about things. And that's because, and because of that, I said he was totally an avatar, and I was right. He's become an avatar since we last heard from him. He seemed like he was just haunted before, but then he embraced it, and he became like fully an avatar. Okay. Talk to many people. putting my thoughts outside myself. And as he just said that, said that as a descriptor for describing things in words. For someone who said he's a bit clumsy at describing things, he told a killer story without any compelling, it seems. Unless there was like magical compelling involved with him just being there. But so maybe he was just saying this and putting it in this way to be more descriptive and quirky with a metaphor. But now it's just me. I think probably he was just talking about the compelling power here. I wish there was a better way than the questions, but touching it's not as simple. Does always make things clearer. So I'll give both of you one. That's how it works, right? Give your terror, give your dream. I give that old woman a statement. But like this guy, he's another avatar or person involved with the entities in some way who knows about the system of give your statement, you're going to have nightmares about it seems. But he's like, I don't care because I have nightmares all the time. How I tried to escape. So he was talking about here, this statement is how he tried to escape from the end. He tried to escape from being haunted by the end, but then in the end, he embraced it instead of, and he stopped running away. Okay, Oliver Banks, I think I got the content here. Or else let me go a little to the end. Something around his embrace, almost affectionate. So yeah, a lot of this stuff here is like very end core. It seems very end core. It seems like, yeah, the feeling of how the end is described in certain statements comes across here. The feeling. The whole, like, the sweet embrace of death, but also like the coldness of it. How, like, the cold existentialism of knowing your place in the universe, knowing you're made to die. He was going crazy on this ship, and these people were terrified, and then they died. How fun! Sudden calm. Sudden calmness. He understood everything. He was gifted with the full vision of the end's glory, probably. Yeah. Okay. The way this is described to us, so end business. He fully accepted. I should have known. He fully accepted it at this point. Yeah, like this was our fate. Where we would always be. That's it. That's the end. That's the end's whole thing. It's like the inevitability of it is like this is everyone's end, and all of us go here. That's a big end thing. And I was gonna take us here. Running was pointless. As trying to escape was pointless. Very whole complete story here. Running away to accepting it. Yeah, I'm gonna tell. He was at first going to explain exactly why this death was happening, but it didn't work out. Yeah, the satellite foreshadowing was crazy. That maybe you heard me, maybe you'll dream. So yeah, he said blames the spiders. What, she? Yeah, okay. This is why I was like, she? We don't know any she spider people. I think the Magnus Archives Wiki may have tried to spoil me, but I don't know the names of any spider people. We don't know them, do we? I don't believe so. We've seen crazy stuff with spiders, but I don't think with any specific avatar, which is something that actually should probably come up now. I should expect to come up, because since this is a entity where we have not had like a specific avatar figure to associate with it, I should expect someone to come up. So I'm looking for spider avatar, because we don't have like other entities. We had like strong like connections to people in statements, like Simon Fairchild, Michael Crew with the Vast, and so on. Okay, and he tells him about your choice. So yeah, I made this a lot more confusing than it had to be, like trying to connect it with John's dreams at the beginning, and then trying to connect it with the whole Gertrude thing. I had it made much more complicated, but it made a lot of sense here. Now all we don't know is like what Georgie is talking, like what Georgie is chasing after him for, and if John is choosing to live now and be a non-human entity. But yeah, I wonder what Georgie was chasing after him for. What she realized. She clocked him though. Oh, it's good to see Georgie again. Good to see that she still cares about John, which makes sense because it seemed like she cared about John last time we saw her. Like even putting up with all of his crazy stuff. Well, she feels no fear, but also she just cares, which was it was nice to see the relationship last season when John was running away. It was good to see her, and it's good to see her back after her being so supportive. So it's nice there, and it was cool to see her deal with another end person. It's like your familiar evil. But yeah, John coming back, I wonder what that means. I wonder what's gonna happen to him. What's happening to him? I don't know. It's really interesting to see a death avatar. Really sucks that I literally forgot about him, and I was just reminded of him too. But it's really cool that I'm glad I remembered that statement mostly. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think I'm gonna sign off quickly. I don't want to talk for too long. It's been like 2 hours. But I think I got the gist of it. I think I got the good part. Really cool story with the ship there. But yeah. Yeah, there was a part of me where I was like, nah, it was like, wow, how convenient, a ship just where he wants to go. Like, is this just being influenced by his entity? But also, like, at the same way, like, I think the ship was just real. It would like existed in the world, and it was like, and wanted to claim it, and then like he, just like how death all claims all people, But yeah, really cool statement. The setup, like episode 11. I hate you. You're too good of writers. I don't like it. It's really too much. But yeah, very thankful for that. But aside from that, I'm gonna sign off. I'll tell you in case something comes up next time. Like, if anything else hits my brain about it. I did talk a lot, so yeah. I'm just gonna sign off. Signing off into the next dimension. Nobody will be there. And maybe don't hold ship crews hostage. Yeah. That man really was screwed though by those dreams. They completely screwed him. Oh, once you get claimed by an entity, it seems like everything just sucks and is over. Yeah. I wonder what led up to it though, about his like personality or character. Maybe I'll look back at Dreamer and see if he explains anything about himself. Because there's always some connection where it's like, this is something that, like, they have some like connection with the concept. Either they're like nonplussed about it, and then they suddenly get plussed about it because they're so concerned by this terrifying thing that happens in their life, or they have a strong connection to it. But I don't know. I already did my outro. I need to stop. Okay, bye. I talk a little more in case